Sooner Nation, Thunder Nation, we are back. This is the Just OK Sports podcast. I'm one of your village idiots, Daryl. That is Troy. That is Jared. And we are here to give you a less than okay podcast about Oklahoma sports. So that's what we discuss. So we hope you enjoy. Troy, how are you with my...
I'm good. I'm loving live right now, man. Like, by the way, are we on video as well or we just put this out in the
He puts it on YouTube
Mhm.
on the tubes.
Okay, all right.
He immediately like, no, not gonna
Hey, show me those guns again. Hey,
Oh
put your
my
arms above your
gosh.
heads again. You've been
No.
working out. Let's see those things.
I have been, but no, that's the most ridiculous and uncomfortable statement ever. Jared, how are you?
I'm good, I guess. So yeah, I've actually been like, I don't really think about it. There's a lot of sports going on right now. Like it is kind of like
This
so,
is like the window of just everything. NHL playoffs, baseball has started, NBA playoffs.
Yeah, I like randomly watched the Toronto Blue Jays and the Yankees play today for like no reason at all. But and I don't even like a huge fan of baseball, but it's like you can turn on baseball and then like work and then just like, you know what I mean? It's like whatever. But yeah, I mean, we've got basketball, hockey's kicking off. I actually watched the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Maple Leafs play today.
Nice.
Yeah,
Tyler would be proud of you, Jared. Tyler would be proud of you.
Yeah, I'm actually like I'm like I don't really have a team yet, but I kind of semi-claim Tampa Bay because I'm a Bucks fan because of Baker. I don't know. I really just don't care as much, but it's still fun to watch. So, but yeah, no, things are good. It's been I did find okay. So this actually, I'll give you an interesting. Here's my old Florida man. When we used to do the Florida man segment,
Oh yeah, we haven't done that in a minute.
apparently my neighbor across the street had a pet crocodile or alligator.
Yes.
So I came home the other day from the gym and I pull my driveway and there's like the animal control. And at first I was like, one of the neighbors used to complain because like my dog can like kind of shove her nose through the fence.
Right,
And she can't get out, but she can like shove her nose through and like look through the fence or whatever. And she's just being goofy and dumb. And she's like one of those, she's just a Karen. She complains. And I thought, okay, like Freya was poking her nose out and she called him or something because he's parked right in front of my house. So like, I pull in and I get out of the car and I walk over and I just like, he's sitting in the truck and I'm like, hey man, I was like, are you here for my house or what? He's like, oh no, sorry. He's like, I'm filling out all the paperwork. And I was like, paperwork for me? And he's like, no, he's like, for this guy over here. And I was like, and you could hear what's crazy is like, I guess he had confiscated already. And they have like this big, like containment thing on the back of the truck, like with all these cages and stuff. And I could hear like something back there just like flailing around and making a bunch of noise. And he was like, and like I kind of looked at it and he goes, oh yeah, he goes, that was your neighbor's. And I go, what? And he's like, yeah, he's like, he bought like a pet alligator a few months ago.
Gosh.
And I guess they busted the guy that sold it to him or something. I don't know. He told me like a bunch of stuff about it. And I was like, I literally had no idea. But he was like writing him a bunch of tickets. They didn't take him to jail or anything, but he was writing like he had like just writing ticket after ticket after ticket. I was like, he's probably gonna be like paying like $1,000 in fines.
Yeah.
But anyway, so pretty wild. Welcome to Florida.
Welcome to Florida. Goodness. Well, today our podcast is going to be a little bit different, at least in the order in which we talk about things. And I'm going to give a precursor to what we're talking about because I believe that this combination is going to see each other in about a month and a half or so right here. That is what I am now predicting is that a Boston, Oklahoma meetup is happening because the Thunder are the number one seed in the West. They have cinched it up. They are tops in the West. And not only that, guys, I don't remember who tweeted it, but do you realize that if the Thunder had just completely waited another year to do this, they still would have been the youngest team to clinch the 1 seed, which, by the way, I want to give it up to Troy and myself for believing that this team would make the playoffs. And we want to make sure that Jared is aware that he in no way, shape, or form ever predicted that the Thunder would be a 1 seed at all. He was not willing to go out on that limb whatsoever. Although Troy and I said we did believe that they could win a playoff series this year. I just want to put that out there. So
it's us. Remember, Troy. Anyway, it's our problem. Sorry for people that don't understand. Daryl's internet has decided to leave the chat at random intervals. So, yeah, there was one of us in the bunch that had a very different prediction. I concede that one of us had a very different prediction for the Thunder. And it was me at a plus 50 games. And they're the number 1 seed now. So suck it, losers. Okay.
You did not think they'd be the number 1 seed.
no.
No, but I did say that they would be well over 50 games.
And then we talked about the playoffs. Me and Troy said, I think that this team needs to win a playoff series. You're like, I don't know about that. I don't know.
I definitely didn't say that. I said I thought that they would get past the first round. I said I didn't know how deep they could get because they didn't have the experience.
Well, apparently to everybody else, they're the worst 1 seed of all time.
Oh my
gosh. Shannon Sharp was.
I mean,
so I agree with every other Thunder fan saying, like, how can he say in one breath, literally the same conversation, in one breath, they're the weakest 1 seed he's seen in years, maybe in NBA history, and then the other breath say it's the most competitive Western Conference has been in decades.
Well, he believes the same thing that I don't remember who the jackwagon was saying that no one this year took the Thunder seriously.
Rick Bucher. That would be Rick Bucher said that jackwagon.
No one said that. And I'm like, all off season, all anybody talked about was the greatness of Shea, how good this young Thunder team was going to be. Just wait till they get That's all that was on every podcast through the entire off season. And now we're just going to sit here and say that, yeah, but once the season got here, no one really believed that. And they just took it easy on the Thunder all year long.
I would like to let's get rid of the negative. Let's get rid of these, in Daryl's terms, the jack wagons. Let's not talk about the jack wagons. I would like to talk about let's look back. Let's look back on the 82 games. Okay. Yeah. Let's go down memory lane even before the season, shall we? What did we say? We talked about it here. We said, honestly, Chet could be the fix to all of their problems, right? Mm-hmm. All the things they're going through. And because they're a deep team, we thought they were a deep team at the last year with all these different parts and everything, even deeper this year, right? With Case and Wallace and Chet and everything. What transpired is exactly what we said could transpire. We didn't know if it actually would. Jared, I will give you this. I will bow down to you. You said it's going to be well over 50 games. We had 57 games, right? 57 games, 57 and 25. What a remarkable achievement for the Thunder, right? But Chet really did. They really just added Chet, and then everybody else got better.
Kaysen, right? I think Kaysen's a big piece of this year.
Kaysen is a great piece as well. Really great piece. He's a lot better than people thought he was.
Yes.
Right. He's gonna make second team all NBA rookie team. But really it came down to the bulk of the minutes was Chet. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Chet and the starting five. My gosh, y'all. Everything we thought we needed, we had. We had interior defense we didn't have last year. Rebounding was an issue last year, was an issue the first half of the season. This was not an issue the second half of the season.
I would say not an issue to the degree it was at the start of the season.
When you're around 18, 17, 16, 15 in the league and rebounding, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And that's where we were in the second half of the season.
Right.
So
I just wanted people I didn't want them to take that thought and go, oh, we jumped up into the top 10 or something like that.
No, you have to give concessions. The way we play, we have to give concessions somewhere.
Right.
Right. And it is going to be a little bit on the rebounding. We're number one in 3-point percentage in the entire league. Mm-hmm. We've been screaming for this for 15 years.
Which, by the way, several things. and not to cut you off, Troy, but that is good job on Sam Presti because, like, Case and Wallace, for instance, shooter. They went and found a shooter in the draft that we've been begging for them. Chet was a shooter that they went and found in the draft.
By the way, sidebar, Kaysen was a defensive stalwart out of Kentucky.
Yes.
That's why they drafted him. They got lucky with his
No. Because this was something that they kept saying at the draft. I'm going to give him his flowers because they kept saying at the draft, his 3-point number was here, and then he got injured or something, and it went down later. They were like, if that 3-point, he had a really long tear of great 3-point shooting in college, and they kept saying, if that is really what they can get from him, then that's the thing. So it wasn't, I don't want to frame it in Andre Robertson as an example. No 3-point shooting ever in his career. The hope was they could convert him to a shooter. Kaysen showed real signs of being a shooter, and he was.
Fair.
And then Chip Ingle, the hiring of Chip Ingle has obviously, Dort's numbers are up. Giddey's numbers are up. I mean, every single guy on the floor's numbers are up. That goes to great coaching as well. So I didn't mean to cut you off in midstream of your recap of thought.
I mean, on the 3-point thought, like, he didn't qualify because he didn't shoot enough threes, but Andrew Wiggins would have led the league in 3-point shooting. He shot 49% this year.
Which Aaron Wiggins, that's another guy. I mean, we liked him last year. He was good last year, but elevated his game this year. No question, elevated his game this year.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
Absolutely.
Jared, how do you feel about this memory lane run that has taken place?
I think that, we were talking about this we were texting about it a little bit, and I had to look it up. I looked at didn't even realize, like, some of the luxury tax numbers are going to make the NBA really interesting, by the way, coming up in the next season or two. But we were talking about this, and I really didn't think about it. It's like the Thunder aren't really in a crunch right now. Like, they could be in the next year or two if they have to start paying some guys bigger contracts or whatever. But it's like, you look at their numbers, and this is the one that blew my mind. Golden State's tax, their penalty, if they keep everybody's contract, is more payroll. Like, I again, this is what I keep going back to, and I don't want to take away from the players.
And I want to make do I have it right, Jared? It's $176 million in tax. Is that right?
It's $176 million in penalties.
Right. And OKC's total roster is $160 million this year. So again, if for those of you that maybe are just catching up to how this works, when you go over the salary cap, you pay more. You pay $1 for every dollar, basically, that you're over, plus penalties in this, I don't even know, this tax penalty that you pay. And they're paying a total of $176 million in that penalty on top of their actual roster.
Yeah.
Right.
I believe the number came out to 380 total.
Something like that. And they just got bounced last night.
Yeah, they're out of the playoffs already.
And a 10 seed.
Yeah. Which, I mean, to give them somewhat of credit, they've had a lot of things happen this year or whatever. But regardless, my point to go back to is to if you did not to take away from the players on the court, right? But Presti has set the Thunder up for success in a way that they're not financially in a pinch with young players, or, you know what I mean? Like, the genius level of everything that's falling into place for OKC to be a dynasty is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I was just texting, ironically, one of my friends last night that's a Sixers fan, and we were just kind of throwing jabs because the playoffs kicking off or whatever. And I said, hey, remember when you said the Thunder were 2 to 3 years away? And he's like, dude, I've never seen a team that's been built like the Thunder have. Like, and I was like, really? There's nobody doing it.
Not anymore.
Even if you, not anymore. That's what I'm saying.
The 90s?
That's what I'm saying. You go look at the, it's the big teams, right? Whatever team you want to circle. It's like they all have like some giant free agent that they had to go get that really elevated the team to that point instead of building it from within.
Well, but nobody's done it where we tore it down and building it back up with the assets we have, and on top of on top of the great scouting, hitting on draft picks, things like that. I mean, there's other guys in the wings that could be amazing next year, like Usman Jang and guys like that.
I called it. That's been my guy. I've said
I
he was going to come along.
don't know if he will, but I am hopeful. I am hopeful. I am hopeful.
His improvement this year, if you go back and look at even his G League numbers from the start of the season to the end of the season, it's insane. And by the way, let's give Presti some more flowers, because it's not just his varsity roster, it's his G League roster. They just won a G League championship. Like, that's how stacked this organization is. You've got every single spot on your NBA roster, everybody astonished at. And then you got a G League roster that is stacked with enough talent to conquer the G League. Like, and then we all know, and Troy, I want to say it because, Jester, when you listen to this, Troy is the one who has been saying for years that SGA is the timeline. He said it over and over and over, to the point that Jared and I made it a joke because we were sick of hearing that SGA was the timeline. But you also made mention of this at the start of the year, and we kept saying, especially at the trade deadline, Troy, what do? Would you package all this stuff up and go get somebody? And you said, let this team ride. And then you said, look, contracts are about to start coming up. Like, you got guys like Dort, Giddy, Jada. I mean, there's a lot of contracts over the next 2 to 3 years all coming up. And when you've got 17 first-round picks or whatever it is that we still have right now over the next 6 years, well, guess what? You can let 2 guys go. You can trade them for draft picks down the road farther. And now go get first-round draft picks to hopefully come in and believe in your scouting department, which this organization should, when, again, they have 22 players, essentially, that are able to play at a very high championship level, that you can just keep turning out, and you can keep your core of Chet, I believe Chet, J-Dub, and SGA together, and fill it in with pieces around them through the draft.
Yeah, it is amazing what they have accomplished. I think they do have a window here. They have a 1-year window. Like rookie quarterbacks or quarterbacks on rookie contracts in the NFL.
Right.
I think the Thunder have a 1-year window, which nobody's ever seen before in the NBA, frankly. Nobody's ever seen this, where you have a core team that is so young but so good that you don't have to pay them yet. You're still a couple years away from paying them. And I think next year you're gonna have a 30 mil cap space.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want and not mess with the rotation whatsoever. I will say that I've heard more than once that KD is laying the groundwork over the last few weeks to opt out of his contract with the Suns, take a 1-year deal with the Thunder, and play with us next year.
I believe it. And I
don't know how to wrap my mind around that, because
I don't know. Jared, you're going to have to help here, because you are probably not quite as invested. And I don't think Jared's quite as petty as Troy and I are. How do you feel about a KD return to this roster, and especially if his return helps push this team over to a championship for OKC?
Man, I don't know. It's tough because, like, this is where it's like tough because I'm not as petty, but it's like when you look at the trajectory of where the Thunder were and how really single-handedly he kind of unraveled that all. I know that was, everybody's like, well, that was a long time ago. It's like, when you think about it, like the last 2 to 3 years with, since Dagnall's come in and kind of turned the team around, he kind of sent them back to the dark ages.
Yeah.
Like, he kind of single-handedly dismantled the whole organization, and it took Presti, like I said, doing wizardry with Dagnall and whatever to get them back to that place.
And sorry, Jared, just I'm going to throw this in there so we don't forget. let's think about the reality that you lost the second best player in the NBA for nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
And we are
After
back, and we are already back in the playoff picture in the number 1 seed in the West. Like,
well, and
that is
here's
the wizardry you're talking about right there.
which it's yeah. I mean, it's that's the thing, and like because it's like, and what's funny is it's so crazy to hear like the almost revisionist history, because I was talking to somebody a while back and they're like, well, on KD, so it's their own fault. And I'm like, the whole not signing him thing was a part of the plan. Like that was what was agreed upon. He said he wanted to come back to the organization. There was the CBA that year where he could get a bigger contract if he waited, hence him waiting.
Right.
This wasn't the Thunder trying to like cut his legs out from under him or put him against the put him to the fire.
And let me be Troy, you may be able to correct me, but if he would have signed for OKC, it would have been for a bigger contract than he signed for Golden State. So he literally left money on the table.
More years. Yes.
Yeah. So, and that's the other thing was, look, as much as everybody can be mad about the LeBron thing when he left Cleveland, and I get that, he did a sign and trade, if I remember that correctly, right?
He did.
And KD did a sign and trade to go to Brooklyn from Golden State. The only place he didn't do a sign and trade was here. And now let's be clear, Golden State probably helped push that agenda because the Thunder roster was still really good. And if they had done a sign and trade, OKC was going to get something back. And maybe could have been, I don't think they would have contended with the Warriors, don't get me wrong, but they would have been still a team to reckon with through the season, whereas him leaving for nothing, that just plummeted the organization, and then they had to gut it.
What was that last part?
They had to gut the organization because he did not sign and trade. Like, it left them no option to be.
Well, they didn't at that point. They didn't at that point, right? They hung on for a couple of years because Russ ended up becoming the savior that offseason, signing.
Right.
I remember him coming in with his white shirt, and he was like, riding on a horse, like he was the hero, right? Like, and then we brought in Paul George, then we brought in Melo, and because the next year after KD left, we were the 6th seed with Oladipo, Steven Adams, guys like that, and he got his MVP season because he goes off. Still one of the more fun seasons we've had as a Thunder fan.
Oh my god!
Just watching him just go nuts, right? And being not vindicated for him leaving, but like knowing, like, hey, we got our loyal dude, and like,
let me
spoilers. Our top 5 is top 5 favorite Thunder players, not best, but favorite Thunder players. Ever.
Correct.
So let me. Well, I don't want to spoil this because I would spoil it. I would rather them sign Russ to just literally be a bench player than them bring back
100.
Yes.
1,000%.
Even if they had to overpay Russ for a year or whatever,
yes.
I would 1,000%.
Yes.
Like I feel like Oklahoma. I feel like if you passed a bucket around Oklahoma City asking for money for Russ's salary, you would pay it. You would pay it. Like,
he'd have a $20 million salary if you passed that bucket around Oklahoma City and asked him to put money in. It'd be a $20 million salary for the year. There's no question. So, yeah, it's just crazy. Troy, like we talked about a little bit earlier. And I'm curious because I really believe it's one of two things, and I don't know, but I do want to ask you and Jared too, actually. We moved away from the dark narrative a little bit, but do you think that whole narrative is really like no one can believe and buy in because this team is so young that there's just no way that they're going to like say anything positive about OU believing that they're going to implode in their youth in the playoffs? Or is this legitimately just small market hate?
Did you mean OKC? You said OU, but
sorry, OKC. Yeah. Yes, apologize.
I think it's a those two things. Yes, with a third ingredient thrown in there. Of they don't like, as much as we love SGA, right? First team All NBA, could win the MVP this year. Things like that. I don't think, like, he hasn't turned. We don't have a marketable star yet. Does that make sense? It's like we don't have anybody that has grabbed hold of the nation. The team has grabbed hold of the nation a little bit because getting the 1 seed and like, oh, we got to pay attention. They're literally the 1 seed. But Chet, J Dub, Shea, like nobody can hold of one of our players and they become like a media darling. Not yet. SGA is on the verge, like really on the verge of like tipping those scales over into being a media darling. But he's not there yet because there's discourse on the MVP. Like people think Luka should be it, or people think that Jokic should be it, right? And so if it was unanimous, then I think that would be snowballing his way, right? But I think you put all three, the small market, hey, it is a thing. We're petty in Oklahoma, so it is a thing, right? They talk about the crappy Lakers at a 9 seed or whatever, way like 50 times more than OKC, who's been 1, 2, or 3 all year. So like, tell me, like I get it. There's more people in LA. You want to get ratings, whatever. It's still hate. But I think there is that, like, I think we have players that will be marketable, but like early on, let's, for example, last time we did this with James Harden and Russ and KD. Russ was the polarizing player, even back then, even early on. He was still polarizing. KD was the dude that everybody thought he's the gifted one. He's the one he's all NBA already, right? Like Wemby. Wemby comes in and he's the best ever, best rookie season of all time, possibly, right? All this stuff, which granted, Wemby deserves rookie of the year and everything. I'm not going to sit here with my rose-colored glasses on, but we don't have anybody that's taken the media by storm yet.
Yeah, I can feel you on that.
I mean, this is, like you said, kind of like this is the moment that could change, right? If
this is the moment.
The unique thing about this team, though, that I would even say is it's a little bit like what I'm going to say is probably, I know one of you guys maybe even jump at me with this, but it's like every other team that's been great in the last however many years, like even if you take the Warriors, right? If Steph Curry came out and just played like crap, that severely hindered the Warriors' chance of winning a game, even when they were a super team, right? They fed off each other so much. With the Thunder team, it's like I feel like it's a little bit less like that. I feel like even if SGA has an off night or Chet has an off night, it's like they kind of pick up each other's slack a little bit. Like the way that the style of this team isn't so center focused. Like SGA is the best guy on the team. Like he's the best player on the team.
Yeah.
But everybody knows that Chet is a huge reason for success, and J-Dub and all the other guys, even Giddy, the second half of the season kind of became one of those guys. It's like you need him to be out there and playing well. And that will help if SJ has an off night. If he gets cold shooting, we're not screwed. And like I said, you that probably hurts their star power a little bit because you don't have that LeBron James.
Yes and no. I agree with you. I agree with you to a degree, but let's take it a step further. Let's use your example, the Warriors, right? Let's use the 2000 and what was it, 16, 15, whatever the year that we lost to the Warriors in the conference finals and we should have won. We were up 3-1, whatever year that was. Think like let's go back. Steph didn't have a great series. We were up 3-1, and it wasn't Steph that got them to the finish line. It was Clay. That got the Warriors to the finish line. Like game 6 Clay is a thing, right? Game 5 Clay is a thing. And so you have like these super teams, they have to be able to pick each other up and everything. But we're built to the way where we're all the same age at that point.
I think there's that. I think Jared, some of what you're saying is right. Troy, I hadn't thought about the superstar part of it, and here's what's sad. I was sitting here just thinking, like, why not? Like, all of his numbers are like everything about it is here's what the problem is for Shea. His uniqueness is he is literally just an elite fundamental basketball player.
Yes. Did Tim Duncan become the media darling?
Yeah. That's a great comparison.
He really didn't, right?
Great comparison.
Everybody knew he's maybe the best power forward of all time.
Whereas like Steph even It was his 3-point, the shooting from
Yes,
the
yes,
freaking
yes.
logo that everybody was just like, whoa, right? It's the
Yes.
Jordan dunks that like drew
Right.
it. Russ's abrasiveness. It was
Yes.
KD's, I'm 7 foot. I can
Right.
dribble, I can drive, I can shoot. And it was like he was the first Wemby, really, just not 7'4", right? But
Yeah.
it captivated everybody's attention. Shea literally just hits mid-ranges, lets you kick it to him on the wing, and when he's wide open for three, takes it and shoots it at a high percentage and gets to the line. Like, he literally plays like old man YMCA
Yes.
basketball at the highest elite level. He doesn't play above the rim,
No.
all the things. Like, and so yeah, it's just that. But I also do think I kept trying to think through, like, why do they keep doing this? And look, I think that unfortunately everyone is just putting their chips in a little bit like with Sacramento last year. Okay, yeah, OKC's a sweet story and it's fun and they've progressed, but they're so young. They're going to get in the playoffs, learn it's a different brand of basketball, and they're going to fall on their face this year. Next year, they can be our baby. And so they're just going ahead and, using this narrative that they're not any good, to just not have to say over and over and over again, oh, they're young. Instead, it's just they snuck up on everybody. They're this, they're that. So
Can we be on? Can let's have a real talk. If they lose in the first round, let's just say if, okay, because we're gonna do predictions. I want predictions coming up for the entirety of the playoffs.
Oh
Okay.
wow!
Yeah, I didn't prep you for any of this, by the way. Yeah, I gave you a list of things I want to talk about, and it wasn't any of this.
No.
And so, if the Thunder lose the first round, imagine how pissed off they will be next season. Yeah. All off seasons, like, we were right. The media's like, they were too young, right? They're not as good as their record. They have a fine regular season, but they come playoff time, they're not ready. And I don't know if they will be ready ever. That's the narrative that will happen. They will lose their ever-loving mind and they will go nuts next year.
Yeah.
I think they will go nuts regardless of when they lose in the playoffs next year. I think they will get a taste of it, and I think they're going to be out for blood next year.
I agree with that personally. Jared, how about you?
Man, I don't know. I was actually sorry. I was distracted because I'm trying to look now because Troy's giving me homework on the fly. So I was trying to look at the bracket real quick for the production overall.
Well, you want to get into it? You want to do it now?
Well, hold on, because let's do this really quickly, because I do. It's not Thunder centric, okay, but the narrative, because this team's so young and they're not any good and they're the worst number 1 seed ever, started a conversation for 2 days about the Lakers literally tanking their game against the Pelicans so that they could match up with the Thunder. That did not play out. The Lakers won. They will face Denver in the first round of the playoffs. The other side of that happens, though, is Zion's injury after Zion was dominating the Lakers in the fourth quarter, right?
Jeez, man.
I mean, look, dude, here's the thing. And he's Zion. But I don't understand, as an organization, as an agent, as a family, as a trainer, as a whatever, at what point someone's going to look at him and say, look, man, you don't play. Like, Charles Barkley was a bigger dude that played really good basketball. He did not play with the explosion and above the rim like Zion does at all. And that's the problem. Did you know, by the way, how big does LeBron still look to you guys? He looks still like a giant on the floor to me. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, he does.
Okay. Yeah. Do you know how tall LeBron is? Either of you?
6'6", not, no. LeBron is 6'8", 6'9".
He is 6'9". Now, what do you think he weighs at being a giant on the floor? What do you think he weighs?
So LeBron is he's a 245, 250 dude.
He is listed at 6'9", 250. Now, do you want to guess at 6'6"? What Zion was listed at this year, weight-wise? At 6'6".
275?
Higher.
285.
285.
Yeah. It's like some crazy.
That's what they listed him at.
Yeah.
But if you look at him next to LeBron, I bet you he's pushing 290.
He lost 25 pounds mid-season.
I mean, you can't play at 6'6", 285 and play with that kind of explosion. Like, look, man, like, I'm not going to lie. I've been kind of a Zion hater since he was in college because it felt like he was just a dunk master. But watching what he did the other night, I want to see this dude play. And we're not going to get to see him play if he doesn't choose to get his body down to 265, 270. Like, I really think 260-ish is his sweet spot. Like, and if he does that, I don't know who's stopping him because his explosion is going to get even better because he doesn't have 30 pounds on him, weighing him down. It's terrifying to think about him at 265. That's just coming down 20 pounds. Like, and weighs 15 pounds more than LeBron, who looks like a freaking bully on the court because he's so big. Like, it's just frustrating, man. Like, not because I want to play the Lakers or not. It's just, this guy's got too much talent and really could be a story for the next 50 years of basketball if he could just stay healthy. And
I just don't know if he is. I just don't know if he ever will.
Yeah, I agree. So, okay, I know you want to get in predictions, just a couple different things. I do want to give it up to Oklahoma City, and I want to give it up to the Oklahoma City Thunder's production / front office, whatever. Scissortail Park is turning into Thunder Up. I don't even remember what Thunder Up Park, Thunder Up Party, whatever they're calling it.
Is this essentially Thunder Alley 2?
Well, there will be no screen putting the game on during the game. So it will only be before the game, is what they're saying. Now, how long that lasts, we'll see. But even so, some of the stuff they have planned for that's awesome. And all three of us, well, two for sure, but a guy that we know is actually going to be a part of all this. And they are adding a really cool light addition to the stadium for round 1. And they've got plans for every round, which tells me maybe Sam Presti's, we don't want to just return to the playoffs. We want it to be an arrival. They think this team's going to be around a while because they have already got the contracts and everything laid out for additional stuff to do to the stadium to hype up the atmosphere in the stadium for every single round moving forward.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, but I don't, is there really a conversation that, yeah, I mean, that they want to win the playoff. There's no question about that.
Well, I understand that, but you don't, like, let's be honest. If you and I are sitting here going, look, our team's great, but we're not going deep. Like, this team's going to lose in the first. Like, we've had teams like that. The year that Russ carried the Thunder to the playoffs, we were like, this team is not winning at all, but it's been a really fun year. You don't go and sign contracts for 3 or 4 rounds. You might do something and go, look, we're going to do this. And then, if we keep going, that's enough. They have sat down and made plans all the way through, which I love.
Right. Well, sure. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to discount that, but I'm also just saying from a business perspective, that makes sense what they're doing. They're the number 1 seed. They're going to have those things planned out, but it's all going to be conditional contracts that they make it there. They're not going to go pay Bob down the street that does light shows that whatever. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, it's going to be conditional. So, I mean, but yeah, I mean, I just think that this, I mean, for one, it's like, this is going to be, we just talked about it. This is the year that it really kind of is. This could be the first year. To me, it's like there could be multiple years, right? That they have the opportunity, but it's like, if they go deep in the playoffs, I don't even think they have to go win a championship. If the Thunder make it to round 2 or they make it to the Western Conference Finals and they get knocked out, then people will say the Thunder have arrived. Right? People will still be saying that. Just because they got knocked out does not mean that they're not going to say they arrived. And then, like, that's what I said. Then you're going to be able to talk about elevating the star power of SGA or Chet or whoever, right? Like, you're going to be able to, those conversations are really going to start spinning up.
Yeah.
If they get bounced in the first round, then okay, people will say, well, they're a fraud.
Yeah.
Right. Or whatever. So that's what I'm saying. I do think that they're going to put their chips on. The good bet, the smart bet is just to put it on this being that as much of a spectacle in every little tiny detail that they can. That's just a good run organization.
Well, sure.
Which everybody's talked about that.
Yeah. So all that to say,
by the way,
go ahead.
Back to your Zion point, D, is he's out not just for this planned game. He's out for longer than that.
Oh, he's out for weeks. They've already said they're going to reevaluate him in like 1 to 2 weeks. Like,
Yeah. So
so it's
I want to see the Pelicans because of that. A
oh yeah,
non-Zion and a Brandon Ingram just getting back. I would like to see the Pelicans over the Kings because Zion, I don't know if he returns during that series.
correct. I mean, I would too. I just don't see them if Ingram plays like he did last night, and if Zion's not there, I don't know if they're beating the Kings. I mean, I feel very confident we're going to be playing the Kings in round one.
I agree.
Which again, look, the Kings have enough firepower to get hot and make a series tough, but I still like our matchup with them. I like the matchup with either of those teams right now. I obviously like the Pelicans more, but I feel very good about the first round matchup so far. So you were asking for predictions earlier. I don't know exactly how many games, but I do believe the Thunder are going to get out of round one.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Let me. Okay. Do we all agree? Because I think we all agree they get out of round one.
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you this: instead of us having to go like, I just want to skip to the midpoint. Who do you have in your Western Conference final?
What do you mean? No! I can't do that. I can't do that.
Okay,
I got to go through these series.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Okay,
These
we'll go through the
series are
series. We'll go through the series.
fantastic. These
Okay,
are awesome series.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's say we play the Kings or the Pelicans. I think we win either of them in 6. Okay. If we play the Pelicans, I think we win in 5. If we play the Kings, I think we win in 6, maybe 7. That's my prediction. The next series, let's go to 2-7. Nuggets, Lakers. I love this. This is awesome. I'm so happy I'm getting this. What do you guys think?
I'm going to take the Nuggets.
Okay.
I take the Nuggets. You know what? I'll even go further. I'll take the Nuggets in 6.
Oh.
I'll go further than that. I'll take the Nuggets in 5.
Wow. Okay. I'm taking
They swept the Lakers last year.
Okay.
The Lakers are not good this year. And the Nuggets are just as good.
Okay. I'm still saying
the problem with the Lakers, and Troy, I want you to get your opinion on this. LeBron obviously is the force of that team, but it's like Anthony Davis just randomly decides did not show up. And that's a problem for them because that's their other superstar.
Yeah.
They think. And you just never know. Like there's just games where you watch him and you're like, bro, he's terrible.
I do agree with that statement. I still believe that it's early in the playoffs. AD's locked in. It goes 7 games. I'm going to say Nuggets in 7.
Wow. All right. Man, will you make a lunch bet with me on this one?
How about this? I'll make a lunch bet with you on the over under of your 5-game prediction.
Oh, that's good. Let me think about that. That's good. That's smart. That's smart. Okay. All right. Let's go 3-6. Another fantastic matchup.
Yeah.
The T-Wolves and the Suns.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Daryl.
Bro,
this is awesome. These are great matchups.
Man. This one's the hardest series for me to pick. Like, I do not know. I gotta go Suns. I hate it, but I gotta go Suns. And that one definitely goes. I'm definitely saying 7. It probably goes less, but I'm going Suns in 7.
Wow, because if it goes 7, they'll win on the road in a game 7.
Yes.
The Suns will.
Yeah.
Okay. Jared, you had a thought.
So, first of all, the Suns are such a weird team when you just look at them statistically. They're just a very, very weird team. I just want to point that out. Like, I don't know. They're just a very differently built team. I'm going to go T-Wolves in 6.
Wow. Let's go.
I don't know. I'm with you.
Troy,
I don't
know, man. I'm telling you, that series. Here's my thing. Here's all my thoughts while you're thinking. I'll just tell you, I don't know what I think about Ant, and like especially the way he talks about refs, like against every other team, essentially. Like, and he's going to get in the playoffs, and I agree. The refs don't blow the whistle as much, but if you think that KD's not getting a favorable whistle, you're nuts. If you think Booker is not getting a favorable whistle, you're nuts. So does that get in his head of, oh, I thought this was supposed to be different and it's not? He's young. Everybody keeps talking about youth, 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 youth. Cat's never proved to really be a winner until this year in the NBA. Whereas KD's been there and made some deep runs. Devin Booker's shown that he can be an assassin in the playoffs. I mean, Beal just scores buckets. That's what he does. It's a hard series, but I also don't think they have anybody that bangs with Cat very well. So you've got that. Ant is still like he's insane. Like
you guys are gonna love this. The Suns beat the T-Wolves 3-0 in the season series.
No way. I would have never guessed that.
And one game in November, it was 133-115. They didn't have Beal back in that game. April 5th, Phoenix won 97-87. And then April 14th, they won 125-106. Doesn't sound like the games were that close either. The second game where it was, but I don't know, man. All right, Jared, you got a prediction? Which one you going? You going T-Wolves?
He said T-Wolves in 6.
T-Wolves in 6.
T-Wolves in 6. So they're going to close out you guys are closing out these series on the road. All right, I will. This is the one team that I think will turn it on. But the old guards, I think this team, although, Devin Booker's really not that old, but the rest of the team is kind of old. I'm going to say Phoenix in 6. Because I think they close it out at home. It's 2-2. Yeah. They get a road win in game 5, and then they close out game 7.
Okay.
Or game 6, sorry. That I am not confident in that whatsoever.
Dude, the West is insane.
All right, now it's the 4-5 matchup,
which is the most elite series that is about to happen.
It's so great. This is wonderful. I love this.
Can we just this is crazy. The 4-5 is 2 50-win teams against each other.
Yeah.
Like just
the Knicks at 50-32 would have been the 5 or 6 seed in the East, and they're the 2 seed, or in the West. They're the 2 seed in the East.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to start. Before we start, Kawhi is going to be healthy, right?
From my understanding, yes.
Yeah. All right. I am going to take. This one sucks too. Like this is stupid. They haven't played since December. They're two different teams. They haven't played since December. I'm going to take the Clippers. I'm going to take the Clippers in 7.
Woo-wee.
Because I think they end up putting Kawhi on Luka. Doesn't shut him down, but when he tries, who's the best on-ball defender in the NBA? It's Kawhi.
It's Kawhi. I mean.
So, all right. Who wants to go next?
I'll take Clippers in 7.
Daryl, you going the other way?
Yes, I'm going Mavericks. I
want to go Mavericks.
Here's my thing, man. I'm with you.
I love.
Go ahead, Jared. Sorry.
Your internet is so bad.
I know.
I said I like Luka. That's all I said.
Oh. I just don't trust Kawhi. That's my big thing. I just don't trust him to stay healthy and play like he's healthy for 7 straight games. I think it'll go that far. Not to mention, one of the most hot, cold superstars that has ever been in the league is Paul George.
You love me, Paul George. I got nothing against Paul George.
I'm just saying that's the reality of him. Like you can find games where he goes like 11 of 12 for 35 points, and you can find games where he goes 2 of 17 for 3
Yeah.
straight nights in the playoffs. I mean,
Spoiler, he's not in my top 5 favorite Thunder players of all time.
correct.
All right, how many games? You say Mavs, and how many games?
I'm gonna go 6 in this one.
Wow. Okay. They are one of the hottest teams.
Yeah.
One of the hottest teams. Okay. All right, that's the first round. And we're both taking the Thunder. We're all three taking the Thunder.
Right.
I'm going to say probably different. I'm going to say Thunder in. I'm going to say the Thunder in 6. I will.
Yep.
Anybody different than that?
I'm gonna make a bold prediction. This will be my bold prediction, so y'all can just throw it in my face later.
Oh.
Thunder sweep.
Woo! He's going for it.
Buddy, if that happens, you're getting a big bear hug from me.
I could see them winning it in 5. I think I'll give it to them in 5.
Okay. All right, let's go to East first round. I love this game. All right, Celtics. We don't know their matchup. Does it matter? It's going to be the 76ers won tonight. It's going to be the Heat or the Bulls Hawks. It's pretty close at halftime between the Bulls and Hawks. I think the Heat come out of that either way of the play-in. Y'all disagree.
Even though Butler looked like he got a little banged up.
Yeah, I mean, I think
if Butler's hurt, then I don't know who comes out. But either way, Boston, it'll take them 5 to 6 games to dismantle whoever that is.
Yeah, agreed. I'll take Boston in 5. Who would against either?
I'll take Boston in 4. Okay. Gotcha. I'm writing all this down. Sorry. We're going to talk about this later. All right. Next one. 2-7. Knicks 76ers. This is fascinating to me. This one's fascinating.
I'm going to go. You know what? I'll start you off. 76ers and 6.
You want me to go, Daryl? Or you want to go?
Yes, I want you to go.
Okay. I actually made a bet that the 76ers would win, but I've been thinking about this for a while.
He's hedging.
Yeah, he's hedging.
I'm 100% going to hedge. I'm 100%
He's emotionally hedging.
I made a bet with Brian, my buddy, about the 76ers would win. But the Knicks, since they traded for OG Anunoby, and he's been healthy, which is not an insignificant sample size, 23 games. They are 20-3 when OG Anunoby plays. The Knicks are. That is not an insignificant amount of games.
No.
I will take the Knicks in 7.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Daryl?
I'm going to take the Knicks too.
Wow. In 7, 4, or 4? Which one?
Not 4.
It's either 4 or 7. Then you have to go 7.
Yeah, 7. I'm a little concerned about Embiid's health.
100%. Did you watch him tonight? He did not look right.
No, I didn't get to watch. I was at a banquet all night tonight. Remember? I ran straight in from the cheer banquet.
Very fancy. Very fancy.
Yeah.
All right. Bucks, Pacers.
I'll go first.
Okay, Daryl. I like that.
Pacers in 6.
Okay. Jared?
Bucks in 5.
Would you like to, I'll give you a chance to rethink that, okay?
Is Giannis not healthy?
Giannis is not healthy.
Okay, yeah, then never mind. Pacers in 6. I just thought about that. Yeah. Pacers in 6.
That was amazing. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna say the Pacers in 5.
Mm.
I don't think it's gonna be that much of a series. I think they run roughshod over the Bucks without Giannis.
I
Giannis is
think,
their only piece of like defensive
yeah.
help back
Well,
there.
and I think Indiana beats them with Jan. I mean, look, they're 500 with Doc Rivers at the helm.
Yeah, yeah.
They're a 500 basketball team.
All signs point to.
Yeah.
All right. Other one, kind of an interesting one. Kind of don't care at the same time. Cavs Magic. Cavs are the 4 seed. Magic are the 5 seed. I just think the Cavs are such an underperforming team. Like all that talent, and you go 48 and 34. Like they should be a 55 win team.
Yeah. But man,
Who should be?
the
The
Cavaliers.
Oh yeah.
My deal is though, Mitchell, man, that dude plays his best ball when the lights are brightest. I can't deny that about Donovan Mitchell.
I don't disagree. Oh, by the way, did you know the Pacers won the season series 4-1 with Giannis?
I can believe it.
So, anywho, thought that was interesting.
Cavs and 6. I'll go first. Cavs and 6.
You know what? I'll go ahead and just rebut. Orlando in 6, hometown.
Oh,
I guess.
Okay.
I like Orlando. I really do. The season series 2-2. 2-2 this year. All right. You said Cavs in 6. Jared, you said Magic in 6.
Sir.
I am going to say I think it's going to be a really fun series. I'm going to say the Cavs in 7.
Ooh.
Cavs
Orlando's too young. They're just too young, guys. They can't.
Here, Orlando's where I thought we would be this year.
Yes.
They're in that exact position I thought we would be this year.
Yep.
But we are, in the words of Mark Dagnall, Coach of the Year. Congratulations, sir.
Coach of the year.
We are an uncommon team. Uncommon. That's what he always says.
Been hanging out with Brent Venables, I can tell.
Could be that those are 2 emerging dynasties. Maybe, which ironically are 2 smaller market teams.
Well, Cavs won't be great next year. Donovan Mitchell's going to go sign with the Knicks or somebody else. Okay. The Bucks are on the way out. Dame's not going to stay there next year. The Knicks could stay. They've got staying. Jalen Brunson's very good.
He's really good.
Boston's very good. They got staying power, right? Yep. Philly will be back to being good next year if Embiid stays healthy. Yada. Anyway, All right. That concludes our first round matchups. Second round matchups. So let's start in the East this time.
This is gonna be like a 3-hour pod.
Yeah, no doubt.
Shut up. Okay. Let's go let's go the first round. It would be Celtics versus, for me and Daryl, it'll be Celtics Cavs. Jared, for you, it'll be Celtics Magic. Okay. All right. So Daryl, or not Daryl, but Jared, since you are
Celtics in 5.
Yep. Celtics in 5. Okay. Daryl?
Celtics in 6.
I'll say Celtics in 4.
Dude, Boston's really good.
They are, but I think that's part of the problem is they're that good and they know it. I think there's going to be a lot of letdown nights throughout the playoffs.
Either way, they're getting to the conference finals.
They won 64 games this year, Daryl.
I'm aware of that.
They've had plenty of time to have off nights and they haven't.
I get it. I understand what you're saying.
All right. Next matchup. We all said Pacers. Okay. But Jared, you're the only one that took the 76ers. Daryl and I picked the Knicks. Why are we agreeing, Daryl? I don't like this. This is not my favorite.
I'm doing it strictly to annoy you.
Give me Sixers and 7.
Wow, he's riding the Sixers train.
Wow. Okay, that's cool. I love it. Wow. Okay, that would be wild if they got to the conference finals. Although before Embiid got hurt, they were the 2 or 3 seed. That's where they were, and then he got hurt and they dipped.
Yeah.
Okay. I will take the Knicks in 7. No, if they're playing the Pacers, I'm going to take the Knicks in 5. Sorry. Taking the Knicks in 5. Daryl?
I'll stretch it 1, Knicks in 6.
Okay. Okay. All right. Second round, Western Conference. Thunder versus the Clippers or the Mavs. Okay. Jared, you and I pick the Clippers. Daryl, you pick the Mavs.
Yeah.
Who wants to pick this one?
Oh, I don't.
Thunder and Thunder in 7.
Wow. Okay. This is where it gets dicey, man.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna say Thunder in 7. Wow. Wow.
Okay, I'm just following your lead for no other reason to just follow. I really don't know, man. Like
The reason I'm saying 7 is that eventually the youth catches up to the Clippers because we will run and run and run. And I know the Clippers will stay with us, and Russ is an Energizer bunny, but at a certain point.
But I've got the Mavs. I've got to pick against the Mavs. The only reason that I am picking the Thunder in 7 is I firmly believe Dagnall is a better coach than Kidd.
That is no question. There is no question.
Yeah, I was like, if anybody's making an argument counter to that, admit them into.
I understand
the
that.
Sideboard.
I think Kyrie and Luka could slice and dice the Thunder just because they're elite. They are both elite, and the center kid they've got is a problem for the Thunder as well. Oh gosh, what's his name? Gafford. I don't like that trio, but I don't trust Kidd to put them in a position once the Thunder adjust to take advantage of it. I think he's just going to let Luka and Kyrie just go play hero ball, and I don't think that'll work against this team for 7 games.
Yep. All right.
It could. It could.
Conference finals. Quick to conference finals. We all 3 have the Celtics in the East.
Okay.
Daryl, you and I have the Knicks. Jared, you have the 76ers in the conference finals. Jared, who are you picking between Boston and 76ers? Stick with it, man. Be bold.
No, we didn't do the other. Okay, whatever.
What do you mean? We did. We've done everything
between the T. Okay, we picked between the T-Wolves and the.
Thank you. We didn't do that. I was so excited after talking to Thunder. All right. Oh yeah. Friggin' A. Yeah.
You wrote it down somewhere.
T-Wolves. Yeah, T-Wolves. It will not be necessarily T-Wolves. We were split on that. Daryl, you and I are Suns. Jared, you're the T-Wolves, and all 3 of us were Nuggets. So
it doesn't matter. I'm taking Nuggets in 7.
Yeah. Daryl,
Nuggets in 6.
I picked the Suns. I'm going to say
wow.
Nuggets in. I'll say the Nuggets in 6.
Oh, I thought you were really going Suns.
No, I wasn't going Suns. I was just deciding because KD is that good.
Yeah.
Right. Like how much am I going to give him? But I think Jokic is that good too.
Yeah.
Okay. All Nuggets. All right. All right, now let's go to the conference finals. Jared,
Okay.
stick with your 76ers pick. If you don't, I'm gonna make fun of you.
Wait, but I've got Boston versus 76ers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Boston's winning that.
In how many games?
6.
Okay. I'll go Celtics. Celtics in 5. Daryl?
Celtics in 6.
Celtics in 6. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Thunder Nuggets.
Who's gonna lead this one? Who's
Thunder
gonna lead
Nuggets.
this one?
That's funny.
Okay, I will go first. How about that? I will throw myself on the sword first. I wore the shirt specifically for tonight. I'm saying it again. Thunder win in 7 at home to go play Boston for a championship.
Okay. Jared?
I'm gonna go further with my prediction. Thunder are gonna be down 3-1 in the series and come back and win it.
If that's the case, I'm just going to tell you right now, I will lose my ever-loving mind from the Warrior series. You talk about vindication, you talk about holy crap. I think most Thunder fans will lose their ish if that's the case.
Here's my thing.
I feel like Troy.
If that happens, Jared found the DeLorean has been time traveling because as much as he won in Vegas on his sports bets, as much as he picked the freaking all the games right during March Madness, he picked 50 games this season when no one else would, and then now he's going to go and predict we're down 3-1 and come back and win the series. That's it. I'm done. You are Nostradamus, and I'm terrified to be called your brother. I don't know.
I think they'll go down 3-1. I think they'll be down 3-1. Everybody will be talking about, again, trying to somewhat throw shade. It's their youth. They're not that good. Blah, blah, blah. Denver's dominating, and they're going to use it as fuel, and they'll come back and win it. 7-game series.
Did you see my cup?
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. I've got to be realistic. I've been somewhat realistic with the Thunder up to now, but I think the Nuggets beat us I'm going to say 6. I'll give us credit for a couple games, but they're going to beat us in 6, if not more than that. So,
okay, Celtics.
Right. You two got
so we
Celtics
all have
Thunder.
Yeah, we have Celtics Thunder. I'm going to take the Celtics in 6.
They have not been good against us this year, by the way.
No, they have not. And I think it's actually a favorable matchup for us. If we play Boston, we win it all in 7. In Boston.
Wow. So Daryl, you are what I'm writing down is you're saying the Thunder will win the NBA championship this year.
Yes. Now, do I really believe that? No. I think we're going to lose the Nuggets. But I wrote it. I'm going with it. I'm doing it. I have undersold this team all year. One time this year, I am
Dude, now knock on wood. God dang it, Daryl. All right. And I've got Celtics, Nuggets. Here's what I'll say about that matchup. I think
Jokic is a problem for them.
Correct. But the Celtics did what they had to do, and they traded to counter Jokic with Porzingis. And what we've been saying about Zion and Kawhi, what we've always been saying about Porzingis, but he's this year. Mm-hmm. And he was the difference of them having 58 wins to 64 wins.
Yeah. Agreed.
He is the one dude. He's one of those few dudes that can legitimately give Jokic a little bit of problem, right? He's not going to stop Jokic because he's one of the best players ever. But he's that dude that's going to give Jokic a little bit of probs. That's why I think the Celtics finally get over the hump playing the Nuggets. I think the Celtics win in 7 in Boston. It will be a nice scene for the Boston natives.
Okay.
I think it'll be a dogfight, personally, but yeah. Do you think Shea wins the MVP? Thank you for doing that, by the way, that drill for me. That's my favorite thing. Do you guys think Shea wins MVP?
I
Because
don't
on
know.
NBA.com, they just
He's
put at
winning.
number 1.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, I thought he was winning it. A week ago, I thought there was no way he was going to win it. And now I don't know.
Oh gosh. The Heat, they think I just came out from Shams. Jimmy Butler's feared to have an MCL injury.
Yeah, that's what I said. He
Yep.
he got dinged up. I
Ooh.
think he played a little bit, but then like he didn't look very mobile.
Well, then the Hawks or the Bulls are going into the 8th seed. It was nice having you in the playoffs for 4 games.
Right now, by the way, just so you guys know, 4 minutes 30 seconds left in the third. Chicago was up on Atlanta 93-85.
I have it right here. I'm watching the whole time.
Well, Daryl doesn't because
No. No. My internet's too
no,
weak to do that.
the this playoff is gonna be fun, but yeah, SJ winning the MVP. I kind of agree. I don't know. It's hard for me to say. I think the fact that the Thunder are now the number 1 seed just changes the optics of it. I think if the Thunder even got the 2 seed, then I think there's no way. But I think it's going to come down to like him and
Him, Luka, and Jokic. It's those
yeah.
3
I'm gonna
guys
say
as
I
far as
really
I'm
think it's him
concerned.
and I think it's him and Jokic, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't.
I'm hopeful, but I don't know.
The problem is it's like we say with all these things. It's the same with the Heisman Trophy. It's the same with all, like, if it's about value, if it's really about value, Shea should win it. Period. If it's really about who's the best player in the NBA right now, it should be Jokic.
Well,
And
it's just like the year.
it all comes down to how the voter feels about it.
It's just like when
Who is the sorry, go ahead, Jared. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's just like what like the 3-year Russ should have won it because he take the Russ off the Thunder those post KD years, and the Thunder aren't a 500 team. They're not even sniffing 500.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way that he wasn't the most, by the definition of the phrase, most valuable player.
But see, that's the thing.
But
The year he won it, most people, when they talked about why he won it, it had nothing to do with value. It was he averaged a triple double. He was the best player in the NBA this year, therefore he won it. And that's how most people, I think about the MVP.
So let me ask you this: who is the best player in the NBA today? Take away the MVP. Who is the best player in the NBA? Because I can't say LeBron.
No.
I
think it's Jokic. I mean, I think those 3 guys are in all. I don't think most people would put Shea as the best, though. I think they'd put it between Luka and Jokic.
I think you would have to put. What's funny is I don't want to sound like a 76 homers because I'm not. I actually don't like the Sixers, but like Embiid's really good. There's a lot. I mean,
Healthy Embiid is up there. Giannis is up there.
That's the only problem with Embiid is the health side of it. Giannis is great, but the problem is there are some legitimate holes in Giannis's game that everybody knows and can see.
But that's like, to me, that's kind of strawmanning it because the things that Giannis does well, he does things that nobody else can do.
100%. I agree with that.
Not only that nobody else can do, nobody else has ever been able to do. I mean, I think athletically he's just different. But yeah, I mean,
but the award is not the most athletic 6'10" guy we've ever seen.
He said, "Who's the best player?"
I understand
Troy's
that, and even the best player is not the most. There's guys in the NBA that legitimately, you can make an argument, are as athletic.
I'm not going to say SGA. As much as I think he's in that conversation, I think he's still a year or so away of, like, if next year if he comes out and dominates again, then I think you have to really start, especially if he elevates his game again, then we really got to start talking about it, right?
Yeah.
But right now I think but to me it's between Luka and Jokic. I think SGA is right there. I think SGA is like a podium guy. Like he's on the Mount Rushmore right now, right? But I don't think that I think those two right now are above SGA.
Nobody's mentioned Tatum in this conversation.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody's mentioned KD in this conversation.
KD is somebody that needs to be. I thought about that as Jared was talking there. KD is this year especially, but you just forget about him because he's been injured so much. It's a little bit like the Embiid talk. I think if Embiid had been like he's really healthy for long whole years, then he's definitely. But I mean, every year there's an injury problem with Embiid. Every year.
You know who is going to be in it's going to be like annoying how quickly it's going to be in that conversation.
Wemby
will be in that conversation next year, and you know what, y'all? Rightfully so.
Yeah. Oh, he's a freak.
It is.
We were actually, I was like, I remember who I was talking about this other day. It's crazy to think that, again, that's another, like when the Thunder were kind of at their peak, right? That was another team they had to face a lot was the Spurs. And if the Spurs get another piece or two put in place, I know they were terrible this year, but Wemby's that freaking good.
Yeah.
Like they could be in the next year or two, they could be really serious contenders.
Well, they're going to have money to burn and draft picks. I mean, that's the thing. And they
the West, and like, think about this next year. Let's say the Spurs get some assets, right? Let's say the Spurs get some dudes. Who's going away in the West? The Nuggets aren't going away. No. We're not going away. The T-Wolves aren't going away. The Mavericks aren't really going to go away, right? Mm-hmm. So there's 4 right there. We don't know what's going to happen with the Suns and KD and Beal and everybody. Right. That's up in the air. The Clippers are kind of up in the air, but not really.
Golden State's out of there.
Golden State's done. The Kings were the 3 seed last year. And if it wasn't for Malik Monk getting hurt, they probably stay at the 6 seed this year.
They're not really going anywhere.
Kings aren't going anywhere. Pelicans aren't going anywhere.
Well, again, it all depends on Zion.
The Rockets are coming back. The Rockets are getting better. They made a step up from last year. They were 41-41 this year. Good for them.
Which is weird because the beginning of the year we were talking about them being the dumpster fire of organizations.
Yeah.
Spurs on the rise, and then Grizzlies get Ja Morant back next year.
Yeah.
The only thing is, and I don't really know what assets they picked up, like during trades this year or whatever. But the problem with like the Rockets is that they are lacking, like they were lacking future, help, right? Like they're
right.
It's how is their long-term success going to be? Because they're going to have to build around kind of what they have or make some crazy moves
and make some free agency signings, things like that. Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, Wemby is definitely a guy that if he continues to progress, he's going to be in the conversation very, very, very quickly.
Chet is Chet not? He's not eligible for Rookie of the Year, right?
Yeah,
he is. Yeah. But he won't win it.
I know. He won't win. Wemby will win it.
Wemby's got that. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, his numbers here are their numbers. It's stupid. He averaged 21, almost a half points, right? Chet averaged around 16.5 to 17. He averaged 10.6 boards, nearly 4 assists, 1.2 steals, led the league by 1.2 blocks more than second place. He had 3.6 blocks a game. Like, what the dude did is absolutely unheard of. Absolutely. And second half of the season, he got 3 times as good as he was the first half of the season.
Yeah, I was going to say, because early in the year, the numbers between him and Chet, there were moments where Chet's numbers were more favorable than him for Rookie of the Year.
Yes.
And then as the year went on, I was like, never mind, I'm shutting up. Like, Wemby's good.
Yeah.
We get it. So
post All-Star, this is crazy. This is what he did post All-Star game. He averaged nearly 24 points post All-Star, but it went from 10.5 to 12 boards a game, from 3.5 assists to 5.5 assists, 1.5 steals, and from 3.6 blocks to 4.5 blocks a game.
Good Lord. That's insane.
Just imagine him starting to get experience in the NBA. It's gonna be wild, man.
Very wild. Oh man, it's going to be awesome. There's going to be plenty of discussion on NBA the next couple of weeks. So again, this is just OK Sports. We talk Oklahoma sports, and Thunder's probably going to lead the way for a big chunk of our conversation over the next months. But we are going to transition to Oklahoma very quickly, as Saturday is scheduled to be the spring game. But make sure that you are following all social media accounts. If you're not signed up for OU newsletter, email stuff, you need to. Weather is not looking great, gentlemen. 50.
Are they going to change? Are they going to change the game?
They've sent an email to be prepared and watching that they will notify anybody if there is a change, but I don't think they've announced one as of yet.
Okay.
I would imagine they would announce Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't bought tickets yet. My whole family is going to be.
That was our
on
plan,
Saturday.
was for all of us to go, including Gibson. But if it's really going to be 55 degrees and raining, I'm not taking a 3.5-year-old in that mess.
Yeah, good luck with that.
It was. Did you guys see this? It was announced about 12 hours ago. I guess earlier this morning. Fans going to games 1 and 2 in OKC. The doors will open at 6:30. From 6:30 to 7:30, all concessions will be 50% off. All beer is going to be 50% off for the first hour.
Bro,
are you kidding me right now?
Bro, we're playing 40 chess, dog.
Oh
my gosh, y'all.
I did not see that. Are you serious?
Curtis Fitzpatrick announced that.
Dude, they
Twitter.
are trying. Hey, here's one thing. The Thunder are SEC ready. How about that? The Thunder are SEC ready. They ready.
My gosh.
Oh my Lord. That place is going like.
Yeah,
oh
I guess did Oklahoma City get a new Riot team or something? Like they have new Riot gear they're wanting to try out. That's gonna be wild, dude.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
All right, spring game though.
Yeah,
spring
game.
Let's
so
roll.
couple, just a note, and then we're just gonna do like we do yearly. But I've mixed it up a little bit this year with our predictions on the spring game. But I did want to give one note. The media was allowed to go to practice on Friday and do some things. And I'd say the biggest note that came out of that day, Jacob Sexton, ladies and gentlemen, playing left guard, not left tackle, but left guard. Jacob Sexton has moved into that position. Ryan Tarquin was playing the left tackle. Joshua Bates was playing the center. Nuiwu was playing the right guard. And I think it was Spencer Brown at the right tackle, I think, or Jake Taylor, one of those. I think it was kind of alternating between those two guys still. So any thoughts on that? How you guys feel about that?
Feels like his more natural position, right?
I kind of lean that way a little bit. Jared, how do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, this stuff annoys the crap out of me because it's like they're going to do shuffles right now. You can go to tomorrow's practice and it's a totally different line, right?
Yeah.
I know what this is going. And to me, it's like I just don't read much into it because people see that somebody tweets about it and then it turns into wildfire and it's like literally go to tomorrow's practice and it'll be back to whatever it was before.
Sure.
Like,
they're still tinkering.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't hate it. But you know, like I said, there's just gonna be a lot of movement, especially on the offensive line. So it is what it is.
I just go back to the high school coach that reached out to us last year and said, look, man, when it comes to the offensive line, remember when the offensive line was struggling last year, because there was a period where the O-line was truly struggling. And he said, I do not understand why the 5 best players are not out there. Caden Green was one of those names he mentioned. He said, you find a way to get him on the field because he is one of your best. Jacob Sexton is one of your best. And look, man, like, I think people have forgotten. I think there's like this taint on Tarquin, right? Because he came from USC and he didn't have a very good year at USC. But you got to remember, he was one of the top 3 transfer portal guys that went to USC at the left tackle position. And as dumb as this is to me, which again, I never played offensive line. So I mean, I get that. To me, it feels like you should be able to play the left or the right side without it making a huge difference. but there has clearly been guys, even at OU in the past few years, that moving from one side to the other truly throws them off and they do not feel comfortable. If Tarquin gets back to the SEC University of Florida left tackle, let him play left tackle. We have said over and over Sexton is a road grader in the run game and struggles in the pass game. Putting him in at guard frees him up to be a little more aggressive in the pass game, I think, can be better. And I think it protects Joshua Bates a little bit more if he's struggling at center. So look, I know they're still tinkering, but I really love this move. I don't know that they'll stick with it. The portal's going to matter, all those things, but still, there it is. Is there really anything big picture wise, very quickly, that you guys think that we can really learn from the spring game? We always ask this. I think certain years there are certain things you can learn. I think there's other years where it's like, dude, I don't know that we're going to really gain a whole lot. So Jared, I'll start with you. Is there anything you're watching that you really think that you'll be able to learn from watching the spring game?
No. No, I think there's a couple of things. I think I want to see the running back depth. I mean, I think we all are pretty confident that we have some, but I want to see Robinson or just even just Barnes and whoever, right? Like I want to see some guys, and it's just really seeing how they move in the open field, how they're hitting gaps, how aggressive they're running. So that on offense, and then I guess just on defense, just to give you something, would probably be your secondary alignment, seeing how guys are, it was really frustrating. Even like first year under Venables, you had a lot of guys having to line up off the ball because they didn't have the speed or physicality to be up there jamming people. And I feel like we're at a point now, especially going in the SEC. I want to see what the alignment looks like, and I want to see how those guys are able to cover. We've heard a lot of stuff about Peyton Bowen. We've heard a lot of things about Billy Bowman. I mean, there's a lot of guys in that secondary I think could show out, and I think that's one of those groups that's less, or I guess you can glean a little bit more information about that is actually viable going into the fall.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Troy, how about you?
I'm gonna say yes. We can learn if the offensive line is really that bad. We can learn if they made any strides with Arnold's decision making. Right. I think those are the two of the biggest things we're worried about, right? Like, and if I think we learned something if all of a sudden the O line is pushing the D line, especially the interior of the D line around, then all of a sudden, like, what does that say?
Yeah.
Like, what do we learn there? More questions probably than answers, but dang.
Yeah.
That would freak a lot of people out if that happened. Right. I think we can learn, how deep the 2 and 3 deep go, right? And like the quality play suffer? Does it stay the same? Does it what happens, right? With the 2 and 3 deep. Because we keep hearing about competitive depth on this team.
Right.
And this is the deepest defense we've had in decades, right?
Yeah.
Let's see it. Like if they're that deep, then when Danny Stutzman, Kip Lewis, when Woody Washington, when these guys come off the field, there should be no lacking in the level of play. So is that true? So that's what I'm looking at.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you, Troy, about decision making with Arnold. That doesn't mean he's going to have a ton of flashy plays in the day, but is he looking at the right guy quickly and letting the ball fly and getting it out of there? I think that's one. My number two, I want to see if there is anybody on the edge that can show legitimate pass rush ability. And what I mean by that is not bull rush, does not count. Coming free because the offensive line doesn't slide the protection the right way does not count. I want to see a guy put up a great come up and under towards the outside, spin to the inside to get himself free and get a sack, right? I want to see him take a hard jab inside, club, swim, get outside around the edge, and make a legit move that is, if they were letting these guys hit the quarterback, that's a sack, right? Like I want to see our Mason Thomas supposedly has that. We keep hearing that PJ's coming on. Though I want to see those things. I think for sure. And then outside of that, it's the diaper dandies, as I like to call them, right? It's the true freshmen, and just size wise and athletically, are they really all that we're hearing they are? I think those are the things that for me, I think watching this game, we can learn those things. I think even the O-line, D-line, look, man, they're not dumb. They're going to put a combination of two really good players and two really bad players out there, I feel like, almost every time, to where there's kind of a worked in. Well, the D-line didn't get much push, but I mean, they weren't playing the real starting D-line, right? The O-line didn't look great, but that's probably not your starting five. They're going to do something like that to make it whatever. So here's our predictions for this year. Troy said he didn't want me to send them to him so he could do it off the cuff. So they're a little bit different this year. So here we go. I want from the offense and the defense. I'll let Jared go first. Who will be the freshman standout? Who will be the true freshman standout on offense and defense?
True freshman standout on offense or defense?
One on both sides.
Offense, I'm going to go Michael Hawkins.
Okay.
And defense, I'm going to go Jaden Jackson.
Okay.
You son of a, like.
Just totally went chalk. I love it. I love it. Totally went chalk. Okay, Troy, you can pick the same people. It's okay.
No, I'm not taking Hawkins. I'm going to have to take Hawkins. On offense. No, yeah, I'm gonna take. I just don't think anybody else is gonna show out as a freshman on offense.
Okay.
On defense, I'm gonna take the other chalk because he stole my first one, and I've been talking up Jaden Jackson. I'll take David Stone.
Okay. Very, very good.
I couldn't get. Well, go ahead, never mind. Say, go ahead, Daryl.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
No, I just got. Well, no, I want to hear yours, and then I'll tell Troy.
Okay. Defensively, for me, I'm gonna go not chalk here. I'm gonna take a flyer. I'm going with my man Nigel Smith. Is gonna show out in the game. On offense, I'm also not going chalk with Michael Hawkins. Xavier Robinson
That's what I was going to say.
Is going to make some plays, and some people are going to fall in love with Mr. Robinson. So that's that for me. So go ahead, Jared. You had your thought there.
No, I was just gonna say. I was gonna tell Troy you could take Xavier Robinson because he was my number 2. But
gotcha.
Did you tell? Okay, never mind. I see what you're doing now. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
I was trying to keep up with your flow, but
yeah. Okay. Offense and defense yet again, but this time we're going to call it the Rising Stars. I tried to give you an NBA theme here, Troy, to help you a little bit. Now, here's what a rising star is: a qualifier. 3 years or less in college. 3 years or less. So in other words, their transfers can be in this conversation for OU, but it cannot be a 1-year guy, right? Like a Bauer Sharp. This is his one shot. He's got to come to OU and play, and he's done. He's been in college for 4 or 5 years. So 3 years or less that they have been in college, and they are going to make a move out there and take the next step, if you will.
By the way, he's not. He's a redshirt junior, so he still has this year and next year's eligibility.
Oh, he still got, but he's still 4-year because redshirt junior. This is 4th.
No, redshirt. So would like
junior redshirt,
like Deion Burks, because have they already signified like he's a redshirt junior, or is he becoming a redshirt junior?
Who, Bauer Sharp?
Like
no,
anybody,
Deion Burks.
Like Deion Burks is like a redshirt junior, right? And so is he already a redshirt junior for this next season, or does he transfer into becoming a redshirt junior, right? Like, or does he become like a redshirt senior or whatever for next year?
Redshirt junior is out of the conversation. How about that? It's
fine.
Junior down, redshirt sophomore and down.
That was way too complicated.
Yeah.
Troy, go first in your complication.
Yeah. Ooh.
You said it can be a freshman, or it can't be a freshman on a rising star.
It could be.
It can be. It can be if we
be.
want. Yeah.
Okay.
Go away.
Oh, I got somebody
Go.
else anyway. Oh, I'm good.
Go away with your business. No, I need a minute. You're gonna have to go somewhere
All right,
else.
go, Jared. Go. Dead space is not good
Offense,
for
rising
podcasting.
store, Jack was fed away.
Nice.
I think we saw enough last year that we were all screaming, why is he not getting
Yep.
more play? Athletically, he's just different. So offensively, I'm gonna go him. Defensively, oh man, that's tough. I'm literally got the roster because I'm trying to see who fits it.
It's not fair what I'm thinking, but like I think I'm gonna go that way.
Okay, I think let me ask if this fits your mold. You might be really mad at me, Daryl, for this.
Okay.
Kobe McKenzie.
No, I think that could very much fit the mold. Absolutely.
Kobe McKenzie is my defensive.
Okay.
So my defensive, like this is like I guess a chalk answer, like Kip Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess he would fit.
He's a redshirt sophomore.
I'm going
he
to
had a lot
allow
of playing
it,
time.
but he was kind of the breakout last year, right?
He broke out.
That's why
like,
he is the penciled in starter right now. He's really the pinned in starter.
Okay, let me put it this way. Okay, Danny Stutzman, we would all agree he's, if not the best player on the defense, second best player on the defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think by the end of the year, Kip Lewis will be the best player on the defense.
That's
okay. Can I just raise my hand that I'm still holding all my Kip Lewis stock?
Yes.
Oh, I know you are here, and this is partially because of what you've been screaming for a while.
Yeah.
Athletically, he is head and shoulders above Danny Stutzman, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Athletically, and if he gets the brain part of it, dude, he's already got instincts.
And the weight.
But if he gets this, if he gets this side of it, like Danny's got now, holy crap, dude.
Go. Okay, let me Troy, I know you don't watch film. If you ever get bored, go watch Kip Lewis. This is the reason I got high on him. His junior to senior year tape, his senior year was like when he was just instinctual and was firing. It was like, I know that you can't compare high school to college and whatever. The dude was just in the backfield, violent, knew exactly where to be, was in cut. I mean,
his brain, I'll just say it straight up. His brain's going to make the jump. He's got to get to 230. He's got to get to 230.
He's art to me. His mental part is there. If he gets the size, he's a legit problem.
Because that's the thing. There's even plays last year where he triggers correctly, but he just gets washed by a 315-pound lineman because he didn't have the weight to just anchor in and hold the play, and so he gets washed out of it. He puts 20 pounds on, and it's over. So that's defense. Offense, Troy, you are taking
offense. Sorry, I was still looking at a lot of some of these defensive guys. There's so many defensive guys. There's just a lot. I love it. All right, offensively. Hold on. It is Caden Helms.
Oh, I like that.
I like Caden Helms.
I like that a lot.
That's my offensive.
I like that one too. I like that.
I like that pick a lot. I would love to see it. It would be huge for this team if that came through true.
Hey, just a quick golf clap for you, Troy, because the Kip Lewis pick. I didn't pick him because in the flow it says doesn't have consistent playing time, and I considered that he did, but I still love the pick.
Yes. My offensive one, just based on the fact that, again, I would say it's very much in line with Petaway from last year, Jared. He played, but we kept saying, why is he not playing more? Why is he not playing more? Why is he not playing more?
Can I guess?
Yep.
Okay, I know who it is. I already know who it is.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. I'll tell you if I know.
No, let's just say it at the same time.
1, 2, 3.
Caleb Hicks.
Oh no! I was gonna say Gibson.
Yes, Jaden Gibson.
Oh yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Jaden Gibson, if everything I've heard is true, Nick Anderson better get healthy and he better show out early. Or his reps are going to be going to a different place, and I hope he gets to show it on Saturday. So Jaden Gibson's my guy on offense. I'm going to go a little off the beaten path, but this is the guy that I still have all my stock on. You have your Kip Lewis stock?
Same as Seago.
Nope. I've got my Lewis Carter stock.
Oh, Lewis Carter, yeah.
That was the other one I was thinking about.
Dude, I've heard some really fun things about him. It's been interesting. So we'll see. But, it's all camp talk. We'll see. Now, this is a different category than we've ever done before, Troy. So here we go. Offensively and defensively. The player that is going to do something or have a day to the point that fans will overreact and believe that they're a difference maker on this team, but will not play much in the fall.
Okay, I got you right now on offense. I got my offensive guy right now.
Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with you. I don't even you haven't even said it, and I know what it is, and I'm going to agree
Brennan
with you.
Thompson. Brennan Thompson.
Oh, okay.
I love the dude, but he has one trick in his bag.
Okay. So that's your offense, Jared. Who was yours?
Okay, never mind. I don't agree with you. Mike Hawkins.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let me clarify. When I read playing in the fall, he's not going to be starting. He may get some garbage time reps here or there, but he's playing in the fall.
Correct. He's not going to be a factor, right? Like again, the Dylan Brooks breakout game of 200 yards in a spring game, and everybody's like, man, Dylan Brooks might be coming on. I think he's figured some things out. He's not playing. My guy on the offensive end, man, that one's hard.
Math is hard.
By the way, it looks like real quick. By the way, just an update. What there, I was thinking, Chicago is in control of this game pretty well right now.
Oh yeah,
nice, very very nice. I'm gonna say that it is the transfer Samuel Franklin at running back. I think he's gonna have a couple wow plays, and everybody's gonna be like, "This kid's really working his way up in the depth chart. He's gonna make plays," and I don't think he's gonna play very much. I think he's gonna end up being third or fourth on the depth chart when it's all said and done. So that's offense. Defensively, Troy, quickly, who have you got?
I don't know yet. You're not gonna come. Don't come to me.
Okay. This one's the hard one.
Yeah, this one is because there's so many young guys.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys that can make a lot of plays on Saturday and not play in the year, not because they're not good, but because the defense is so deep.
I'll say Eli Bowen.
Ooh.
I think he'll make a play or two, and people get excited, but he won't get much playing time.
Okay.
Is Jaden Hardy's healthy, isn't he?
He is healthy, as far as I know.
I'm gonna say Jaden Hardy.
Jaden Hardy's a great pick.
I think he's like he's athletically is crazy. We've already heard some good things, and I think he's gonna make some wild plays, but I just don't know. That's crazy. That's such a deep room, it feels like. I mean,
yeah. The thing is, there have been some inside guys reporting that Hardy, though, is pushing to be in the 2 deep at safety, which is really, really wild. For me on the defensive end, who's going to make some plays but not play a lot defensively? All right, I'm going to go with a guy that I actually like. This is going to sound like I'm throwing shade, and I'm not. But if healthy, I think it's going to be Josiah Wagner. I think that dude plays hard all the time. But I think when you look at the size of Des Malone, Gentry Williams, Kanai Walker, Makari Vickers, who they like, I think they love Josiah Wagner. I think he just needs one more year of putting on some weight and some strength before he's ready to be turned loose. And even like Kendall Dolby's going to play some corner. Woody's going to play some corner. But I could see him playing a lot this weekend because Gentry's going to be out. They might not even play Woody Washington this weekend and just keep him healthy for the season. I think Vickers is still banged up, so he's going to get a lot of run, and he could easily come up with a pick or two for sure, but then not play very much in the fall at all. So, last two questions. Will we get a transfer commit this weekend? And if so, how many, Jared?
One.
Okay. Troy?
I'll say 2.
Two for Troy. I'm going one as well over the weekend. I think eventually they're going to get quite a few, but I think they still have to process some guys from the current roster. Any high school recruits commit this weekend, in your opinion, Jared?
One.
One there.
I do not know.
Troy's like, no, what? Okay. Question mark, Troy. I'm gonna say 0 for on the high school front. I think they're gonna focus on that. And then let's close this pod out. That has been long, but it has been fun because there is so much to talk about. Wrexham promotes second year in a row. They have promoted up yet again, which
That's amazing.
They did. They were. It sucks because they were actually in the running to win the league title.
Yes.
And the other team ended up winning their final game, so they ended up claiming the title. But yes, super. Is it crazy? 2 years in a row you get promoted?
Dude, I tell you what though, very quickly, I am trying to now catch up. I got stuck like at the midpoint of the last year's Welcome to Wrexham documentary, and I just saw the episode of that team they played in League Two that was just a fun club like 20 years ago, and now over 12 years they have promoted up 12 leagues. There are actually 12 leagues lower underneath League Two. And I don't know if y'all remember that episode or not, but it's like, dude, every other year that club has promoted, and they didn't have that stadium they had, and yet they were beating the big boys, man. They were beating the #1 team in that league. Like, they were scrappy. But yeah, Wrexham 2 years in a row. Crazy, crazy stuff, man. Crazy.
Oh, we can't end the pot on that. We have a top 5.
Oh, I forgot we have a top 5. I've totally
top 5 favorite Thunder players.
Oh man,
ever, not best.
I'm
our favorite.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we can all
just
say who our
number one.
Russell Westbrook, baby.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook. Yeah.
Build him the statue.
We need to get him. We need to get him on the pod.
Oh my gosh, that'd be incredible,
dude. Yeah, Russ is definitely number one. So, I guess you know what, Troy, you're the resident Thunder expert. Why don't you kick us off with it?
Cantor is my honorable mention because I loved what him and Steven Adams did together.
Yes.
And Cantor has always loved Oklahoma, like always loved Oklahoma.
He's been a guy.
My 5, and it's too early, but they're gonna skyrocket, is a tie between J-Dub and Chet. It's a tie. I'm sorry.
We're just making up things now. He's got a list of 20.
I got a tie at 5. I've got a tie at 4, a tie at 3rd,
my
a tie
4,
at 2nd.
It's an 8th-place tie at 2.
It's Russell Westbrook.
It's gonna look like a golf scoreboard. Sorry, F. That was an F-bomb. That was an F-bomb. Sorry, bleep that. Sorry, brother.
My number 4 is Mr. Thunder himself, Nick Collison. My number 3 is SGA. My number 2 is the Big Kiwi. Gosh, special place in my heart.
Yeah.
For Steve, like my son was like 5, and he's calling him Steve-O. I just want to watch Steve-O play basketball. And then number 1 Russ.
Yeah, Steven Adams is definitely Yeah, no, I'm gonna. I guess I'll give mine real quick. I don't even know if I have an honorable mention. I don't know. I'm gonna go 5 though. I'm gonna go J-Dub. Do like him a lot. 4. Oh man, I'm gonna ruffle some feathers here probably. Okay, my honorable mention is Nick Collison. But yeah, so but 4, I'm gonna go SGA.
Okay.
3, I'm gonna go Steven Adams. And two, this is where people are going to be like, "What are you talking about?" And it's because when the Thunder came here, it was an early part. He was my favorite player, and I think Daryl may remember this. I don't know why. I just loved his play. Serge Ibaka.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sure. I thought you were going to pull out an Eric Maynor or an Nad Kirstich or something like that.
No, no, no. Serge Ibaka was I just his he was such a defensive force his first few years on the Thunder. I mean, he really was his entire time at the Thunder, but yeah, I just love that he was just such a defensive guy on such an offensive focused team.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'm gonna totally ruffle all the feathers. Honorable mention for me was Nick Collison. I tried to think of a way, but I was like, like I liked him, but I didn't love him. Like it just, he's just not there.
If you put KD or James Harden on your list, I'm like peacing out immediately.
Okay, my number 5 for me is SGA, and honestly, he almost ended up an honorable mention for me just because to some degree he's a little boring outside of his outfits. He's just kind of
See,
he
this is
does
exactly why we don't have a true superstar on the team yet, like a
right.
media darling,
Right.
because of you.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is why he is my number 5. My number 4 is Serge Ibaka. Serge was a blast. So fun. The block parties that guy brought and the corner threes were incredible. Loved it. Good times. I'm going to really shock some people here. My number 3, Chris Paul. And I don't really like Chris Paul very much, but I'm probably cheating a little bit here. He's still the first superstar that Oklahoma City ever had, even though he was a New Orleans player. But Chris Paul helped pave the way for the Thunder to be here, came back, and gave us hope that in the bubble that team could make a run because of what he did with a team that no one thought had a chance to even sniff the playoffs. And he led that team in a time when the world was literally dying in a stay-at-home quarantine. I'll just forever love Chris Paul for what he did for Oklahoma City. My number 2 is the Big Kiwi. Absolutely number 2 all day long. And number 1 is Russ, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, Steven Adams it's always funny because I was like somehow like came across somewhere for TikTok or Instagram or something, but it was like a video of like Steven Adams, and there's one where like literally like a dude tries to basically body Steven Adams, and Steven Adams is just so big. The dude bounced off and fell on the ground real hard, and Steven Adams just like stops and picks him up all nice and
the
kind.
Jimmy
like
Butler quotes about Steven Adams are the great. That's some of the greatest like old like clips that you will ever find when Jimmy Butler's like, dude, that mother is strong. He's like, and Jimmy Butler talks crap about a bunch of people, but he did not mess with Steven Adams.
Who was it that he was? There was the clip of him again. Somebody they went up for a ball or whatever. Guy hits the ground, and Steven Adams just literally like grabs him by the waist and picks him up like a mannequin and sets him down. And it's like it's not like a point guard. It was like another center. I'm like, bro, what is like this man is made different, dude.
Oh my gosh.
So
amazing.
but yeah, no, I'm excited. Playoffs are gonna be here. We'll be talking playoffs heavy next time.
Next week, yeah. Games on
and
Sunday.
Maybe maybe we'll have the spring. We're gonna have a lot to talk about. We're gonna have to do like 2 pods next week.
Dude, if the weather stays crappy, by the way, this is not a guarantee, but Jared, we've talked a lot about streaming a game and talking through it. The spring game might be it. If I end up staying home and not going down to Norman, maybe you and I could jump on and watch the game.
Oh, let's definitely not invite Troy to it. Yeah.
Well, he said he's going. He already said him and his whole family were going.
But if the weather's crappy, I bet he doesn't.
I will, but the rest of my family probably won't.
Yeah, there you go. Well, anyway.
So
Kobe White just had 42 points in this play-in tournament.
Wow. That's a heck of a night.
That'll get you there.
That'll get you there. So
what was the final score? It was like 130 something, right? 130 to 110 or something like that.
Something like 131, 116.
Wild stuff. Well, there is definitely going to be plenty of content for the next couple weeks between playoff basketball, spring, the portal season is wide open, all the different things. So we'll see where it goes. Again, we're not insiders, we're not reporters, we're just guys talking about Oklahoma sports. But if you enjoy it, please like, subscribe, and leave a 5-star review. We would greatly appreciate it. That is Troy. That is Jared. I am Daryl, and we are having a great time. We hope you are too. We will talk to you guys later.
Bye, Baker.